Money talks. It's a saying that anyone who's ever done any kind of work, in just about any kind of business, has heard dozens of times. Certainly, the construction world is no different. With that in mind, it's interesting to know that many private lenders are not giving their blessing to funding construction projects unless those projects are being done under a project labor agreement, or PLA. A PLA is a collective bargaining agreement that establishes various terms, rules, and conditions of employment prior to work beginning. It's often used in large government union-built projects, but more and more private jobs, both large and small, are turning to PLAs based on what they've seen when a union workforce is called upon to get the job done. It's called success. Forget about the politics for a minute. Forget about past prejudices. When schedules are tight, the availability of skilled manpower is an issue, and superior work is demanded, money talks. There is no greater example of how the use of a PLA can guarantee success virtually across the board than by observing what's going on in Chicago. Since 1995, construction and renovation work on the city's massive public school system has been done under a project labor agreement. That's because business and community leaders in the Windy City have seen firsthand how either numerous or complex projects come together so much better when scores of contractors, suppliers, and craft workers are all able to get united behind a single agreement that a PLA provides. In Chicago, that means millions of man-hours of work performed on more than 600 buildings. In fact, it worked so well that 2 years ago, a new 10-year agreement was signed to continue the work. Attorney James Franzik negotiates PLAs on behalf of the city of Chicago.
We have built scores of buildings over the last 15 years. So what the goal was from the city's point of view was to work constructively with the building trades, to have an umbrella agreement that would ensure stability as we went through all these projects, that would assure that they were done efficiently and economically, and that they were done without fear of disruption. And I think we've been enormously successful in accomplishing that over the last 15 years.
Based on that success, the city is moving forward to expand the PLA program beyond the school system.
We're in negotiations right now to do a 10-year project labor agreement with the City of Chicago, which would cover not only the City of Chicago work, but it would also cover the Chicago Housing Authority, Chicago Transit Authority, Chicago Park District, city colleges, and any other entity that is attached to the city.
PLAs can range from the bare bones agreements to complex documents, but they provide comfort for everyone from the people paying the bills to the contractors doing the work because of the unity of purpose that is part and parcel of any PLA agreement. Patrick Deedy negotiates PLAs for the Chicago building trades.
It sets up a process so that any jurisdictional disputes between various trades are resolved in a very time-sensitive manner so that there's no downtime when that might arise.
When borrowed money has to be borrowed for a longer term, it's going to cost more. So if they have a tight time schedule, a PLA is definitely a plus with them because they can meet their time schedules.
But the biggest reason PLAs are becoming the construction vehicle of choice in Chicago and elsewhere is because of not only the access to a pool of manpower itself, but because of the caliber of the craftsmen and women that walk through the gate on the job site. We call it our value on display every day.
If you've got an untrained, unskilled, unsafe workforce, you don't know who's coming there from day to day. You don't know what their skill level is from day to day. When we have apprentices, when we have journeymen here, we know exactly what their skill level is, and it's consistent across the board. There isn't anybody that's fallen short. We have the most trained, productive workforce in the United States. And wages, the misconception is that wages make a difference. Well, wages don't make a difference. The productivity and the training is what makes a difference in a job coming in under budget or on budget.
In fact, it is the Chicago and the Cook County Building Trades Council's ability to provide an outstanding workforce that is one more reason behind the popularity of the project labor agreement with the city. Jobs are created, good jobs that stay home. One of the cornerstones is community outreach. And the building trades are working closely with the school district to develop increased opportunities to disadvantaged and impoverished areas. The goal is to expose students to the prospects of a meaningful, successful career as a construction professional.
I go to the schools. I basically hold seminars so the kids know, we have 24 different building trade apprenticeship programs. Let them know each of those application processes, all the requirements for each of those. I'm getting a great reaction. A lot of this information, it hasn't really been out, in the minority community the way it is now. It's really out there now, and everybody's really appreciative of the information because this information changes lives.
Chicago and the Cook County Building Trades are working with the school district to eventually have 25% of new apprentices come from Chicago public schools.
The key to this, and the mayor has spoken about this on numerous occasions, is that we want the citizens of the city of Chicago, and in particularly those who live in this city and go to the schools in this city, to have the kind of lifestyle, to have the kind of income that being a member of the building trades unions can produce. This is their way into the middle class.
The Education to Careers, or ETC program, is up and running in 20 high schools across town. It provides introductory trades courses in the schools, allows for job site visits and internships, and various hands-on experiences that show real success is possible with a career in the construction industry. With the stated goal of eventually having 25% of new apprentices from local high schools working on local jobs, it's easy to see why there's a new movement underway to give PLAs another name: Community Workforce Agreements. Working with the Chicago and the Cook County Building Trades, a viable and ongoing effort is being made to recruit tomorrow's construction professionals from today's young students.
We have an annual meeting with all of the apprenticeship training coordinators and all of our corresponding teachers that teach in those trades, where they can get together and network and talk about what each is doing in the classroom, what's working, what's not working.
This past year we had 93 students actually go on spring break internships with union contractors and actually get hands-on experience. And so that's the kind of thing we really want to build from and do more of, because to us, what really makes our career and technical education programs come to life and be successful is the actual work-based learning experience. So getting that, I think that's a huge success that we'd really like to continue and build from. I think it's a great thing that construction is always going to be an industry that's around and big in the city of Chicago. I think that a lot of our students have a lot of potential and a lot of interest in working in the construction trades, and really bringing that interest to life and making them actually pursue a career, and can happen through this partnership with the Building Trades Council. So doing the outreach in schools, giving our kids the actual work-based exposure, and giving them the training, helping us write the curriculum, all these kinds of things the building trades can help us with. And it creates just a lot of opportunity for our students, which improves their lives, improves their overall welfare over life, and it just creates a better, stronger workforce for the city as well.
It means opportunity for not a job, and we don't like using the word job. We use the word career with our people because it truly is a career. We'll teach you what you need to know in our apprenticeships, where you can be a functioning journey person throughout the rest of your life, and you can work on this, you can support your family, and do all the things you need to do.
So as Chicago continues to build for its future, some of the signs will be obvious. Cranes will continue to reach for the sky in this famous city. Schools, parks, transit, and housing will move forward in a win-win situation known as a project labor agreement. But when you look a little deeper, you'll see something else at work: a commitment to its people, a healthy city with a healthy middle class. It's what happens when the Chicago and the Cook County Building Trades Council works to provide life-changing opportunities to those who only ask for a chance to make something of themselves. Careers in union construction help pave the way. I'm Dominic Giarratano. Thank you for watching.